with Intention podcast, where we bring you stories from around the globe. Hello and welcome back, Veronique. So nice to see you again back on my podcast. How have you been?
Amazing, Eva. So happy to be back.
Thank you so much. And for those who haven't seen our previous podcast with Veronique, please tell us a little bit about yourself, and we'll jump right into some questions for you.
Yeah, so I love to call myself your Act2 Strategist and Mentor. And what I do is I help guide high achieving women, usually through their own very authentic reinvention, life to business.
Awesome. And where are you located again?
I'm in the Catskills, New York right now.
Ah, beautiful. So welcome once again to the show. And you've had such a rich and dynamic career from previous podcasts and what I know about you. But you also are, right. So what inspired you to say yes to being part of another beautiful collaboration book called Passion, Purpose, and Possibility?
Yeah, so thank you for this question. I think I always say I have a book in me, but how do you start? So you start with one chapter that you collaborate with other amazing women, and I found this title very apropos and compelling. The book is called Passion, Purpose, and Possibilities, and at the time it was very important to me to share my story about how I had spent most of my life experiencing passion, acting from my purpose and believing that everything is possible and seizing every opportunities. And then, my life started to crumble. And then there was, almost no passion, no purpose, and very few possibilities until I rebounded again and I reinvented myself. So it's really my story, and with the hope that it will inspire other women. That what I call your Act 2. It's not the end; it's just the beginning where everything is going to reconnect in your life beautifully, magically, differently, in a way that obviously you can't see at the beginning of the journey, but in the end, it's it's the gift. The gift is life itself.
Wow, beautiful. So yeah, let's go back to the Act Two. So you call yourself Act Two Strategist and Mentor. How does this idea of reinvention tie into the themes of passion, purpose, and possibility?
Well, I think it comes a point where, we've had a long run in our career. We've had a long run in our personal life. We got married, we had kids, the kids are grown up. They're probably, there's probably left. Maybe things happen in your personal life that is not the same that it used to be, right? Maybe you
Yeah.
divorced, maybe someone got sick. I mean, so it comes a point where you realize that everything in your life has changed and you have not updated the perception that you have of yourself. And I know that I was running a very obsolete identity. The identity that I had in the business, in strategy, in Manhattan, in consulting firms, on very high profile companies. That was no longer me, and so this is why nothing was fitting anymore in my life. I was misplaced. I was not experiencing anything that was giving me life. I mean, passion was gone. I'm a very passionate person, as you can tell. A lot of energy. I was totally depleted. I actually, and that's my story, I got sick. So, but that's what it took for me to like literally. So when people read the book and read my chapter, they understand what I'm referring to. I literally and figuratively on my knees. And that's what it took for me to look at where I was and realizing that whatever brought me here was not going to take me anywhere else. And this is what prompted this journey of discovery first and then reinvention.
Mm-hmm. Wow. And when is the book coming out?
So officially September 30th.
Oh, okay, beautiful. That's really exciting. I'm so excited for you.
Yes, thank
Um,
you.
yeah. So what do you believe is the biggest, if any, if there is, misconception people have about passion and purpose? Is there such a thing?
Well, I think it's all connected. That's the thing. It's you if you don't know what you're doing, it's hard to have passion for just, what's happening in your life, right? It's when your dots, what I always, for me, it's like the dots of your life connect in a certain way. And you know where it fits. If this is a mirror of me, if it's an echo of the person I'm designed to be, and that's my whole approach to reinvention. So I don't think necessarily that you wake up one morning and you know what your purpose is. So that I think there's a journey of discovery of what is it that I'm designed to be. But the moment of clarity, the moment where on your journey of reinvention things click, you cannot unsee what you've seen and you cannot
Mhm.
unfeel something that you felt, and then it becomes the only thing that you're here to accomplish. Hence the vitality, hence the passion, and that's the fuel that is powering our second act.
Wow.
Because what I'm sharing more and more. What started was just sharing my personal experience. Now I realize so many women are walking the same path, and I'm just like, for some of them, like a little bit ahead so I can guide them. But it's literally, it's not the end, it's the beginning. And I think it's the beginning of something so fabulous, because we're done with the competition, we're done with the career, we're done with the titles. We've had a family, we've done like so many things, and now it's time for ourselves. It's time for, who is it that I am now? Who is it that I want to be now? And allowing ourselves to just like grow into the person who can do it.
Yeah. Wow, that's amazing. So what would you say was the most rewarding part of writing alongside authors in this collaboration book? Like, how did it feel to do that?
Well, I think, you know, I want to share this. It's a journey itself to write a chapter about yourself. Like, it's my story, right? And that's the crucial moment, where I could have slipped and give up, and the moment where I was like, no, this is not the way it ends. It's the way it begins. I have no clue what this looks like, but let's go and be adventurous again, and just like believe there's more, right? um and I'm sorry, I lost track with your question. Sorry about that.
Oh no, that's okay. Like, what was the most rewarding thing working with authors? Because you guide
Yeah.
women for years doing other things. So authorship is kind of a new thing. So that's
Yes.
why I wanted to know more about what this experience was like. How did it feel to be alongside different authors and things like that?
So I want to share this. I think it's genuinely, my experience was uh the one of, I need to do this, I want to do this, but also really not easy to do it. And now that I'm on the other side, I felt like so happy and even proud of writing this chapter. And I always say, this is not Shakespeare, but this is my story, and it matters. So it's kind of like giving birth. There's like, you're going there, and this is not going to be, there's going to be a moment where it's not going to be easy, but you're going to push through it, literally. And so walking this path alongside other 21 other women was fabulous, because we were going through the same stages of you know putting in words an experience of growth, putting in words our expression of passion, purpose, and possibilities. What is our experience of it? So it's fabulous. I would recommend it to anyone, to allow yourself to collaborate. Pick a subject. I'm actually going to do one. I want this really inspired me to write a book and a collective myself about the Act2 revolution, because I think this is such a movement that is happening about so many women getting into their prime now, and changing the world, and being equipped to make a difference and create impact. So I would recommend it. It's not easy, but on the other side of it, um, it's transformative in itself to do it.
Hmm. Yeah, I totally agree with you because, like myself too, when I did my first one, English, as you know, is not my first language, so I was scared a little bit. But like I sat down with myself, and sometimes things weren't coming as easy as I wanted them to. So I would leave it for a couple of days, sit down again, would get maybe a paragraph or two in. But once you really open up to the possibility, things start flowing to you naturally. And then, sometimes it takes, the team like with Action Takers Publishing to edit it for you. They'll sometimes give you some pointers and things like that. So it's not as scary as I thought it was gonna be. When I first I was like, oh, I have no idea what I'm doing, but it sounds fun. And that's exactly what happened. Like, I went on to the second, third, and fourth. By the time I was doing my third one, I felt really comfortable, like you learn something about yourself, you gain new perspective, you meet so many new people. Like I was amazed how many people I've met through this process. Other authors, doctors, lawyers, yourself. I meet people from all over the world, and they have similar stories. Some of them are like they're really scared, they don't know what to write, but then they open up and it
Yeah.
starts naturally flowing. So I love that. You're glowing when you talk about it. So I really love that. Like, I think it's really important. Some people don't see a lot of value in it, and everybody's different, right? It depends what you do in life, right? But I think it has so much great potential and it can help somebody else out there. So, yeah,
Absolutely. And I think it's a moment of growth for yourself. And as you just said, uh, I believe it's inspiring for other women, other people to realize that, oh, she was challenged too. Her life looked like this, but she was actually challenged. This is what she did with that. And just the fact to contribute to a book, and this book is going to be read, like imagine the ripple effect of that. um it's just fabulous. I mean, my life is all about impact right now. And there was a my challenge was to like come a little like naked, like it felt really uncomfortable to be that vulnerable, but it was my own opportunity to process my own story. So that's why I'm saying this is just do it for yourself. Do it for yourself first, and then you'll realize how many people you have.
exactly. Yeah, I remember when I first wanted to write about my travel journeys, and I just didn't know what to write, where to, and I'm talking like over a decade ago. And I wanted something like deep inside, I wanted to be impactful at the same time. But at that time, I wasn't really into much of personal development. And I just left it. And then, just a couple years ago, opportunity came that was perfect because now I write in different books, not just one. And that doesn't mean one can't be powerful, but this way I get to share so many different stories and it goes out to the world. And I was like, wow, how perfect, how divine, that the answer just came by itself. This is the way you should deliver. You're writing about your stories of your travels, what it has taught you. And then on top of that, now you're helping people with other things like transformation in their own lives. So I think it has such a beautiful way of helping us in our own life. And then, like you said, others as well. So such a beautiful
Yeah.
thing,
The,
topic.
the power the power of storytelling, is ageless. We'll always get back to that. But
Yeah.
that's the way that we experience things, and that's the way that we communicate.
Yeah.
And so it's a beautiful way. And my experience with the Action Takers Publishing was really good. Um, they did just a little bit of magic. because I have a certain voice that it's important for me to keep, but it just made it like just little tweaks that made it even uh, flowing better. And yeah, I believe I'm going to do another collaboration. Maybe this one I will lead it.
Wow, that's amazing. So exciting. I want to
Yeah.
jump a little bit onto what you do. So like you work integrate science, spirituality, and transformation. Can you share one practical tip from your chapter that list or unless you don't have it in the chapter, but I'm sure you do, that listeners could apply right now to live more in alignment with their purpose?
So I'm not going to give like a tip, but something that's foundational to understand. Um, this is the notion that and that's one thing that everybody knows, but I think people are missing the significance of it, is we are born unique. And it's not just biologically unique. We're born unique. It's by design. It's because we carry a design, and it's up to us to express that design. So just having that awareness that we're not look alike, we're not meant to fit in, we're not, and I'm not calling for a revolution, that's not what I'm saying, but we're not meant to disappear, um, absorbed by somebody else's project, ideas, business. We're here to execute our own design. And my experience of it is, and that's my message, is your life depends on you living your life. So if it's just a way to start like being curious about who is it that am I now? Who is it that I'm designed to be? Is there any longing, any, you know, part of me that is being happier, like feel more energized when I do certain things, or or feeling more depleted when I do other things. And it's not just being, soft with yourself, it's being smart with yourself. Because I'm telling you, if you keep ignoring those signs, um, most likely you're going to end up like me, sick, depleted, because I had forgotten my own design. I had, for someone who was so driven and unstoppable and leading major companies through transformation, I had lost myself. I had lost my own path. I barely, knew who I was. And that's why I got sick. I got sick because I had abandoned myself. So the key that, maybe, your audience who is listening can start opening themselves up to the idea that, hey, I'm not just a biological being. I'm also here to express something that is uniquely me, that can only be expressed through me. And the beauty of it is when everybody does that, I mean, the fabric of creation is richer, instead of having cookie cutter and, people in auto living their lives, or 90 years living the same life, you know? And so that is the secret to success for me. Success for me right now is what I call full-fledged vitality, because I know that when you express exactly who you are, you feel more alive. And that's actually the title of my chapter, and the invitation is, now is your time to come alive.
Nice. I love it. Can't wait to for it to come out. I know you touched a little bit on this, but what impact do you hope your story will have on readers of this particular book? Because I know you're gonna have others, but there's always something we really focus on in one particular chapter.
So passion, purpose, and possibilities, just opening this book, it's just going to open a whole new uh, perspective for you in terms of what's possible. Because imagine reading 21 women's journey of passion, purpose, and possibilities. And so, generally speaking, what I want to do is really inspire, specifically other women, to focus on themselves now. It's not the end, it's just the beginning. And it's the beginning of something even more exceptional, beautiful, and powerful, not just for you, but through you for other people.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that's beautiful. So, the name of the podcast, as you know, is Rise and Thrive Mornings with Intention. And I know I've asked you that on the last podcast. Is there any new shift in you? Like, do you think like intention in the morning is important to set for the rest of your day, or do you have a new perception now?
So I practice not only setting intentions, and not only in the morning. I practice calibrating to my vision. So the vision is like, where am I heading? What's my master intention? Like, what's the direction that I want to
Oh,
give for my life, but also energetically. So I have this master intention, but also each day is different. And you want to be open to each day is different because you want to seize the beauty of each day, right? So I typically, depending on, what's the color of the day, is it going to be a meeting for my innovation? Is it going to be a legal meeting? Is it going to be a creative meeting? Am I, you know, then I give it a specific color. I give it a specific color. What is the specific emotion I want to be in? What is the feeling that I want to be experiencing? So that I keep being in my passion. Because the the whole point, I mean, when people understand this is all about energy, this is, everything is energy, and your biggest deal is to manage your energy. Okay. And it's about, being able to generate energy while going through the 3D reality. As we're going to meet other people, we're going to do stuff in the physical world, right? It's not that I'm a monk and on my mountain and just humming to protect my my energy. I have to go through that like anybody else, right?
yeah.
So it's really being mindful and calibrating. What's my vision? What's the emotion? And and when you're wondering, when you're being triggered, let's recalibrate. Let's recalibrate. And that's how it becomes like a muscle, because you become less sensitive to uh, your environment, like the what's the circumstances or the situation or even the conditions, because you're able to not lose track of what's important. What's important is, who is it that I am here to be, and I'm trying to be it as much as possible, as long as possible, throughout everything that's happening in my life.
Mm-hmm. Wow, and I love how you called it master intention. That's brilliant. I love that.
Thank
Well,
you.
thank you so much for being here with us today. I absolutely love your energy and love. I could listen to you all day, Veronique. So it's always
I
a
could
pleasure
answer
to
your
have.
questions all day, Eva.
Well, I have more. But
Welcome back.
yeah, so it's absolutely delight to have you as always, and thank you so much for listening to us today. And follow us so you know what's coming up next. We have so many things coming up, more books, more inspire, more transformation, and we're here to help you grow and expand your life because after all, life is a gift, and we should make the best of it. So thank you so much for listening, and wish everybody a wonderful day. Thank you. Bye bye.